Goes down the corner, and we've talked about the right front tire. I guess he cut it down. It goes flat. And we've talked about there's nothing you can do except go straight in the wall. There was the right side window coming out. And this car, folks, we've seen race cars torn up and the body fly off. This car is junk. This car is destroyed.
Looking ahead now from Dale Jarrett.
Right there, you see the tire go down, you see the smoke, and you see how fast that thing goes up the racetrack into the wall.
Ahead from Tony Stewart.
Gets in the corner, and there's that evil stuff.
Evil stuff right there.
It doesn't take so much.
And it looks like he stands on the gas. That's a good move. Now you got to get back on the brakes.
Ride him, Cowboy.
Yeah, he's riding it out.
And there's that cloud of dust.
See how dirty it is up there? When you get up high, all that dirt and stuff up there, that's slick when you get up there with one of these race cars.
And almost every caution flag, NASCAR puts a jet blower on the speedway to blow that stuff off.
That's pretty cool, really.
It was pretty cool. You know, by nailing the gas up there, he almost drove it
up at the top of the frame.
Comes off the corner.
Evil.
Oh,
Elliott Sadler.
Elliott Sadler just
man.
barely missed it. There's that roof flap once again, flipping up to make sure that the 66 car stays
Right behind him. And a little touch.
Tony wobbled first.
Yep.
I think Tony
lifted.
I think Tony got just a little bit loose, maybe eased up on the throttle just enough that the 40 car ran in the back of him.
Yep.
I don't think we could fault Sterling with that. He's right there, not expecting Tony to come out of the gas.
Yeah, no, but you're also. Oh, that angle really got into him. But you're right, he got out of the gas. But I think also on this point of the race, guys, when you're trying to get a position, you're trying to get that nose right on the guy's bumper to make him loose. So you will loosen him up, so he'll slide up the racetrack.
The yellow and put Ward
He's
crossways on the racetrack.
Really hard to tell.
Hard to tell from his contact what might have caused it. There probably was on board with Jimmy Spencer. And all of a sudden, Spencer sees a lot of smoke. And
over the line in his pit box. Then the most recent caution, it's Elliott Sadler looping around stretch.
And here you got Harvick, takes a big run on Kurt Busch. Now he's down on the apron, but he tries to squeeze back up, hits Kurt Busch, and I mean drives this car forever, like you said, BP.
Wait, no, I don't think he hit Kurt Busch, but watch, it's when he makes the transition from the flat back onto the banking. I think that's when the car got upset, right there.
It got angry anyway.
Yep.
And here he goes. Now, you know he's not going to be able to handle it on the apron of the racetrack. The banking on the racetrack is only 18 degrees, so it's probably 6 degrees on the apron there, and he finally loops it. Meanwhile, behind, these guys start trying to avoid the accident and run into each other. Too bad for these fellas.
Boy. On board Elliott Sadler. That's Hut Strickland just ahead of him. Okay, add him to the list.
First, he just got up. Well, it's hard to tell. It happened way back, getting in at turn 3. I don't know if he got a little bit high and lost the BP or if he got some help. We just kind of saw it. You can see the tire marks went way back. It started on the entry at 3, it looks like.
And what's been a very tough rookie, Winston.
Going down into 1 right there. Car is bobbling a lot right there, BP. Gets back in the gas and just loses it.
All of a sudden, the car just spins around.
But the car looked loose as he got down into 1.
Well, you know, they've been talking about this car being a handful all weekend. And we caught just a clip at the end there of Junior's radio transmission saying, I just couldn't hang on to it this time.
Well, you know, in final practice, we rode along with the 8 car a bunch of times, and that car really looked unstable getting into the corners, even then. It happens fast.
He's trying to get some perspiration out of his eyes.
The 18 car.
There's Mike Wallace. They're side by side.
Mike didn't see him there.
Okay, Benson drives into the 41. But they look like they save it.
Johnny's tires bent out.
The racetrack and he clips the 18 car.
Okay, that's why he spun so abruptly.
Yeah.
When Johnny made contact with the 41, it looked like it bent the suspension because you could see the tire in the 10 car just turn. Look at that hit. Oh, my goodness.
Seven cars got a bunch of damage also.
Looks like Steve Park in the 30 and maybe Bill Elliott. I saw Elliott spin. Maybe Steve Park as well.
On board with Jimmy Spencer now for our next look.
Everybody checks up. Jimmy gets down right all the way to the bottom of the racetrack.
That was Steve Park that went around in the 30 car.
He's coming in, having a very solid day, and look at, oh, trouble, turn one. Casey Mears into the wall. Caution is out with 34 to go. Casey Mears was running 14th. Top right of the screen.
Yep.
He was under somebody.
Yep, he lost the left rear, and unfortunately, Kurt Busch was right there.
That's Kurt Busch cannot catch a break, but they hit these safer barriers, and both guys drive away.
Yeah. Amen, man. Those things are great. Here you got 20 on fresh tires. Now he gets a great start. Now the 9 doesn't have fresh tires, so he's going to have to be a little bit more careful getting the corner. He's going to back out early. Tony doesn't. He can drive in deeper because he's got newer tires. That's what caused that deal.
He ran the back of the 9 car, just turned him, and into the wall he went.
Tony just did not expect the 9 car to lift, and maybe he wasn't told that he was on older tires. Unfortunately, it took out a lot of good race cars.
Never see the contact between the 10.
Wow,
But nobody did anything wrong on that deal. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're driving the car to how the car feels. It just, the 9 had to get out earlier because he wasn't on the fresher tires.
See Dale Jr. get knocked around and spun. Second place driver in the championship.
And once the 9 car comes off the wall, he leaves those other fellows behind him with no place to go. We're talking about the guy that was leading the race spinning.
On a restart with the whole field bunched up together. Fortunately, they weren't all up to top speed yet.
Sure did a lot of damage not being up to top speed, though, as well. BP.
Coming off turn 2.
The last part of it there.
Didn't look like anybody was around him to make contact. Just a simple losing control off the corner.
Did get the safer barrier, though.
Much welcome.
Let's take a look. Okay, wow. Well, that's the end result.
Jeff Green was not on the lead lap.
He was not on the lead lap. Robbie Gordon was racing with several other cars for position, and once again, maybe he became impatient.
Yeah, he's racing with the 16, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And then he gets in behind a car that's a lap down. I think you're right, BP. A little bit of, hey, get out of my way.
Pit road is open. See if we have any takers this time. Jeff Green into the wall in turn 3, bringing out the caution.
Just keep your eye on the right front. You really didn't see anything happen, but it definitely went down. When a car shoots up the racetrack like that, because of the tire.
Wow. That's the safer barrier.
Let's go on board with him and listen.
Already up there.
Well, you can see the tire marks there. Normally, when you see one tire mark going up to the wall, that's a tire going down. Well, that's because of the flat tire.
green?
There we see him up on the outside. It looks like he's got some contact from the back. The 42 gets in the back of him.
Yeah, but you know what? The 9 got out of the gas there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened if he came up on Bobby Labonte, whatever, but you could see Casey got out of the gas and Jamie McMurray was in the gas and caught him by surprise.
When that back car closes in that suddenly, you realize that
see right there, it looks like he was sliding up the racetrack and he was just trying to save the car, and McMurray got into the back of him.
now all that damage on the grill of the 42 car was done hitting the 31 a few laps back, not then.
See, he's already high, but he comes down besides Bobby. See, all of a sudden he just got way out the throttle. And
He might have gotten some more damage from that.
yeah, the 42's got some, yeah, he does, more damage on the nose and the hood. Let's go right about here. Yep. But see, you know, when you're driving lap after lap after lap, and you're so in tune and focused with this race car, and then all of a sudden you feel something different.
Hang on.
Wow.
Man, oh man.
That's a shot right there.
Folks, I can't tell you. That's in progress.
No.
Right in the center.
Let's go on board with the 11, Jason Leffler, and see if we can see anything.
Well, there's Mike Bliss there on the inside.
That's what happened.
Yep, just got it. Got loose up off of 2. He was underneath the car, so he may have been trying to keep it off the car that was above him.
And saw that yesterday, too, in the Busch race a couple of times.
And I don't believe he did hit anything, DP.
No, sure didn't.
On board with Tony.
He tried to drive under the 18 because J.J. Yaley had all kinds of trouble getting off that corner. He had visions of passing him, and when he turned under the 18, just lost the back end and around he goes. The 07 of Boyer, the 55 of Michael Waltrip, but Wally, the left rear tire on the 55 car is cut down in that contact.
Yeah, that's the reason for the yellows. I think you can see it right there. All the air's out, so Michael went down in the turn 1 and got up into the wall. Just got loose. You get, you know, restart. Newman was behind him, not real close behind him, but he just got loose getting down into turn 1.
Nice job by Riggs getting on the brakes.
Still may take a little bit of air off that spoiler. It's in a lot of traffic there.
Denny Hamlin will be the lucky dog. We'll go on board here. Ryan Newman.
Oh, he was in trouble way early. Well, he was in trouble when he turned the car down into the corner.
As soon as he turned the steering wheel, he got trouble, yeah.
This could send us to overtime, and fuel could be a factor.
The 17 slowed down for some reason right there. I mean, whether he got loose or whatever, I'm not saying that it was Matt's fault that he got spun out, but it did look like his car slowed down. Right there.
We heard Kenseth tell his crew on the radio that, what did he say, if NASCAR is consistent, they will black flag the 24. Is that not what he said?
Yes, and remember that Jeff Gordon is on probation. And we can tell you.
Down the outside of the 40, goes underneath him. Not quite sure about all that.
The 40 was obviously trying to block. That was for position. Kenseth